Tonight, much of the federal government remains closed, a government shutdown that has left Washington eerily quiet. The lights are on, but the halls of power are empty, and the usual bustle of activity has come to a standstill. This happens when Congress and the president can't agree on a budget, a standoff that brings the nation's business to a halt. The budget is the government's financial blueprint, and without it, nothing moves forward. Non-essential services stop, national parks close, and many federal workers are sent home without pay. Offices that usually serve the public are shuttered, and the impact is felt in communities across the country. This shutdown began nearly a week ago, after the Senate rejected a temporary funding plan from the House. Negotiations have stalled, and frustration is growing on both sides of the aisle. The core issue? Disagreements over how to fund government agencies. Lawmakers are divided over priorities, with each side holding firm to their demands. Without a signed spending bill, the government loses its legal authority to spend money, triggering a shutdown. Essential services like national security and air traffic control continue, but much of the government grinds to a halt. The effects ripple out. Passport offices close, federal loans stall, and museums lock their doors. Everyday Americans find themselves caught in the crossfire, unable to access services they rely on. Millions are affected, from furloughed workers to families needing government services. The uncertainty weighs heavily as paychecks are missed and plans are put on hold. As days pass, pressure mounts on lawmakers to compromise. The public watches closely, hoping for a breakthrough that will end the stalemate. The shutdown is a result of deep divisions over spending priorities, with both sides unwilling to back down. The longer it lasts, the greater the toll on the nation. While Congress debates, the country waits for a solution to reopen the government. For now, the doors remain closed, and the nation holds its breath for a resolution. During a government shutdown, you might wonder, do members of Congress still receive their paychecks? The answer is yes, they do, even when much of the federal government grinds to a halt. This is because the U.S. Constitution itself requires it. Article 1, Section 6 guarantees that senators and representatives are paid for their service, no matter what. The 27th Amendment goes even further, making sure that any changes to congressional pay can't take effect until after the next election. This means Congress can't give itself a raise, or a pay cut, on a whim. So while hundreds of thousands of federal workers may miss paychecks during a shutdown, members of Congress continue to collect their $174,000 annual salary, uninterrupted. Leadership positions like the Speaker of the House or Senate Majority Leader earn even more. But for most members, the base pay has remained the same since 2009, with no cost of living increases. The original idea behind this legal protection was to ensure that serving in Congress was possible for people from all walks of life, not just the wealthy elite who could afford to work for free. But today, this creates a stark contrast. Lawmakers continue to get paid, while many federal employees and contractors go without income, sometimes for weeks. The optics are tough. Politicians collecting paychecks while ordinary workers struggle to pay bills during a shutdown frustrates the public and fuels anger. Many lawmakers are aware of this perception, and some even choose to donate or withhold their pay in solidarity, though it's not required by law. Still, the law is clear. Congressional pay cannot be stopped during a shutdown, no matter how unpopular that may be. Each time the government closes, the debate over fairness, accountability, and the role of public service only grows louder, raising questions about how Congress should respond in the future. When a government shutdown happens, most federal employees stop getting paid. But for members of Congress, the law says their paychecks keep coming, no matter what. Some lawmakers, unable to legally stop their pay, instead ask for it to be withheld until the shutdown ends, hoping to stand in solidarity with affected workers. It's a symbolic gesture. We won't get paid until everyone else does. By making this request, they want to show that they're not above the struggles faced by federal employees and their families during a shutdown. Both Republicans and Democrats have made this request, showing rare bipartisan unity. In a time of political division, this is one issue where lawmakers from both sides can agree. Lawmakers like Chip Roy, Ashley Hinson, Josh Gottheimer, and Lou Correa have all asked for their pay to be held back, joining a growing list of representatives who want to share in the consequences of a shutdown. The money isn't lost. It's set aside and paid as back pay once the government reopens. But the act of withholding it is meant to send a message. For these members, it's about principle and shared sacrifice, not the money itself. They want to demonstrate that they're willing to face the same uncertainty as the people they represent. Withholding pay is one way they show they understand the hardship caused by the shutdown, and that they're committed to finding a solution for everyone affected. Other lawmakers accept their pay, then donate it to charity. This approach, also bipartisan, turns their salary into support for those in need. Senators like Ashley Moody and Lindsey Graham have pledged their pay to local organizations. Donating pay is an act of philanthropy, redirecting funds to help communities during the shutdown. Whether withholding or donating, these actions acknowledge public frustration and the hardship faced by federal workers. Lawmakers are trying to balance legal obligations with ethical responsibility during the crisis. Behind the scenes, congressional staffers face real hardship. Unlike their bosses, staffers aren't constitutionally protected. They miss paychecks during a shutdown. Essential staff keep working, handling calls and legislative work, but without pay. The financial strain is immediate, especially for junior staffers. Back pay is guaranteed once the shutdown ends, but bills don't wait. The shutdown's impact goes beyond politicians. It hits the people who keep Congress running. Lawmakers' decisions to forego pay are, in part, a nod to their staff's sacrifice. The true cost of a shutdown is felt most by those who can least afford it.